Hey everyone, it's Kino here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to go through a nice, easy meditation to help calm your mind. You don't need to be particularly peaceful to start off meditating. In fact, the more disturbed you feel, the more beneficial the meditation practice would be. You don't need any particular size or shape. You can be any age to start. Meditation to calm the mind is a tool that you can take with you really in any moment of your life. So you can call upon it in times of need when the emotional waters of your life feel quite stormy, and you can use the meditative mind to reclaim a peaceful center amidst the storm of life. So when you're ready to begin, we'll close the eyes and then gently and calmly bring your attention to your breath. First, become aware of the sensation of your breath in. Then become aware of the sensation of your breath out. Rest your mind in the simple awareness of inhalation and exhalation, pure and simple. Your breath is as it is. Refrain right now from controlling or manipulating the breath in any fashion, and instead just let the breath be. Inhalation, exhalation. To make the mind more focused, draw your mind into a smaller area of attention, keeping yourself focused inside the nostrils, along the upper lip, and on your nose. Feel the breath as it moves in and out of your body in this small area. Noticing the pace, the rhythm, the depth, and the temperature of your breath, the sensation of the breath, the tactile awareness of inhalation and exhalation. As your breath naturally makes contact with this small area of your body, inside the nostrils and along the upper lip and on your nose, the breath will naturally leave you with tactile sensations that will tune you into the temperature, the rhythm, the placement of your breath. The simple, humble task of steadying the mind with equanimity is the act of cultivating the meditative mind. Choose to stay present with the breath. If you notice your mind wandering away towards other thoughts, just gently ask it to come back. If you notice your body itching or desiring to change position, just observe, but don't change. Break the cycle between stimulus and response. Break the cycle of automatic reaction, and instead choose your breath. And in the choice of focusing on inhalation and exhalation, amidst the distractions of the mind and the body, you choose your freedom. Freedom of the mind, freedom in the present moment, freedom from reactions. Let inhalation be inhalation. Let exhalation be exhalation. Remain equanimous and evenly focused, so you tell no story around whether the breath is good or bad. It is simply what it is. All of the qualities of the breath are simply the qualities of the breath. The breath simply is, just as the tide of the ocean simply is. It is neither good nor bad. It is simply the tide. Just as your breath is neither good nor bad, it is simply your breath. Observe, cultivating an equanimous mind. Be neither for nor against. Assign no meaning. Simply observe and find freedom in the pure light of observation and awareness. If you notice there are any emotions that bubble up to the surface as you bring your attention to the breath, especially emotions that might draw your attention away from the breath, perhaps you feel irritation, anxiety, nervousness, sadness, or anger. Or perhaps you feel quite pleasurable sensations like happiness, bliss, or ecstasy. Wherever you fall in the emotional spectrum, recognize that the emotions are the weather of the mind. Hold on to nothing and simply redirect the mind's single point of attention into the breath. You are here now. The breath is simply the breath. After a few moments where the mind rests and abides in the singular sensation of the breath, a state of equanimity becomes present. In the natural lucidity of the equanimous mind, an inner depth can be perceived. Using the breath as an invitation to dive deeper down. Bring your attention into your spiritual heart center, into the space behind your sternum. Pause for a moment, feeling the spiritual heart center. And listen. Listen through the inner channels. Feel with the inner heart. See with the inner sight. Recognize the innermost chamber of the spiritual heart like a seat of holiness, like a seat of all that is sacred within. For a moment, you may find the presence of a warm white light. Perhaps you feel this presence overtaking you, wrapping around you as the one true light of the world. Deep in the innermost chambers of the spiritual heart, there may be many burdens that are placed down on the heart, weighing down on you. Perhaps there is stress, many decisions that are left in limbo in your life. Any stress that you feel sits on the spiritual heart like a heaviness, a constant pull of anxiety. Today, as you tune into the presence of a warm white light, a presence of infinite compassion and grace and mercy, feel the stress being lifted off of your heart right now, as though all of that extra burden is just being taken away, burnt up in the purity of the light. Recognize that stress solves nothing. So do not fear letting it all go. Turn it all over and replace fear and stress with the bonds of faith and trust. As you gaze deeply in the spiritual heart, allow yourself to feel the lightness and freedom. That is your natural state of lucidity. If there are any other burdens on your heart, perhaps you feel a sense of woundedness, a sense of trauma, a sense of grief, a sense of hurt, a sense that you've been wronged, a sense of pain or sadness. Perhaps there is an inconsolable sadness, a deep and grievous loss that weighs upon your heart, creating an emptiness. In the presence of the one true light of the world, allow the light to fill you from within and bring with it healing. Healing of the wounds of the past, healing of all traumas, consolation for all grief, healing beyond forgiveness, healing beyond what we deserve, healing which can only come from grace. Allow yourself to be filled up, replenished, renewed, rebuilt, restored, as you shine through the eyes of spirit and recognize your purity and feel the bridge into a life lived with inner peace. Feel the spiritual heart like a sun that shines out, brighter than 1,000 suns, and be the light of the world. Bring your hands together and inhale. May you carry the seeds of peace and grace and mercy in every moment of your life. Namaste.